The thing about Orkut that I loved the most was the communities. Can you tell us a little bit about it? How you got, why did you decide to create communities?
So communities go all the way back to Club Nexus, actually. There was something called like the forums, where people had discussions around like topics they like. And if you think about how we connect in real life, there is always something in common we have that connects us. We are in the same family. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same school. We both like caipirinhas. We both like Marvel movies. There's always something in common that brings us together. And it could be like as simple as like going to the bar and then stepping outside to have a smoke. There's someone else smoking, and then you start a conversation, right? Exactly. There's always a commonality that brings it together. And communities are all about bringing people together around like what they love and what they have in common. And it made it very easy for people to start conversations.
Yes. Did you have a favorite community, like the funny ones? Did you love the most?
Oh, I liked, I opened the fridge to think.
Okay, that's a good
one.
Another one was I look for coffee beans in my ice cream.
I had one of my favorite was, I thought it was ice cream, but it was beans.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Oh, yeah.
Because in Brazil, like back in the days when you had like leftovers, like in terms of beans, our moms would store them in the fridge. So when you open, it was like
they would start in the same ice cream package.
The same ice cream package.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes.
So you get the leftovers on that ice cream package. So you think, oh, it's ice cream. No, it's just beans.
Yeah. My favorite was like, I hate waking up early. It was my favorite. We had like this one in Brazil. Odeio acordar cedo.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talking up is really interesting because when you talk about communities at Orkut and today, it's like everyone is talking about communities and communities. Like the word is so popular right now. And it's really cool to see that back in the days. And I had the feeling that we had more a sense of community online. Do you think, since the social networks nowadays changed, do you think it changed a little bit, this feeling?
They changed tremendously. And it's like most interesting when you talk like the new generation, right? When you look at like teenagers. On the flight to Sao Paulo, I was sitting next to like a 19-year-old teenager.
Okay.
And I was able to talk about like social media. And we talked about like TikTok and Be Real and Instagram. And he was like telling me how they don't have like communities and they don't use like Facebook groups. Yeah. And he was like telling me he was around like 6 or 7 years old and he had sisters that were 13, 14. And his sisters were like obsessed with like Orkut.com and they had all those communities. And he was telling me how he never had that community experience. And it's also interesting how social media is putting so much pressure on us. With like Instagram, for instance, right? If you look at a teenager, they wake up from bed, right? They take a shower, they make their hair, they put their makeup on, and they post on Instagram saying, I woke up like this. And then all their friends look at that post and say, oh, I look like crap when I wake up. So it turned into this like competition where you're constantly looking at your friends and see what they're doing, and they seem to be always, having like the perfect face, perfect friends, going on like never-ending vacations, and you feel like you can never be good enough, or you can never be loud enough, and you can never like compete. And even like apps like Be Real actually even amplify that social pressure more. He was telling me at the beginning, when he was using Be Real, he had maybe like 10 really close friends who were using it, right? Then you don't mind sharing your private moments because you don't care what people think. These are your friends, these are your family. But once you have like 30, 50 friends, then you really care about what you're doing because you're competing in a social circle. Yeah. And it's even worse than Instagram because then throughout the entire day, you have to make sure that you look perfect and you're doing something like interesting in case you get this notification on the phone and you have to share what you're doing. And that tells like so much about the social media we're experiencing today, because it's all about posting not to be vulnerable
Just to
and
impress someone.
Yeah, it's just to impress people.
E aí, gostou desse corte? Se você quiser, assista o episódio completo, basta clicar no link aqui na descrição. E se você gostou e quer deixar a gente sabendo disso, deixa o like e assina o nosso canal para a gente continuar trazendo conteúdo gratuito aqui no YouTube.